Hello, Chris Moody here. Let's jump in and get started with setting up all the indicators and the scans on the TC2000 platform. If you guys are long-term users, you know, but if you're just taking a look at this video, this is probably the best platform on the market as far as doing scans. They're very simple to set up without knowing any code. I've been using this platform for a while, and I own about every platform you can possibly imagine. And for the price of this one, which is relatively cheap, I have platforms in excess of $5,000 that are full 64-bit platforms, and they will not scan as fast as this one. And this is a very lightweight platform. It's about a little over a meg or something download. And the couple of the great features about it is it works on Macs, it works on PCs. They have a great iPad app, and it stores everything in the cloud. So when you go from one computer to another computer, all your indicators, everything is exactly the way you left it on the previous computer. So great app. Now, one thing is I have the Platinum version. To do the Acorn scans, you just need the gold version. The platinum version gives real-time data, forex stocks, intraday, all the way down to the tick level. It may give a little more historical history, but all you need is the gold version for just doing the scans, and I think that's end of day. But so if you see any features on here that look different from yours, then that's why. Also, they just had a major release to 12.4, so you can see right here. But so if you have not upgraded to that yet, I highly recommend it. They put a bunch of new features, and it's over 300 times faster than the old version, which was very fast. So let's jump in. Little housekeeping. I'm recording this in 1920 by 1080, and we're producing it at 1280 by 720, which means a little bit of the quality gets taken away. So it's very important when you're watching it to view in 720, and I'll show you exactly how real quick. But the first thing is, if you need help and you're newer to the platform, I highly recommend you go here and click on tutorial videos. And I've already got a screen popped up. But what happens is you'll come to this screen, and it's got a bunch of videos you can watch, from short couple-minute ones to very lengthy ones. We are going to be kind of focusing on the easy scan. So if anything is not clear, you can go back and check these out. And there's just a bunch of great stuff on here. And then if you kind of get into the site, they do they have incredible trainers. They do webinars once a week where they go into some in-depth topics. All those are archived. And what I'll do is we're just going to jump in and knock out the scans for people that are familiar with the platform. And as long as this video doesn't take too long, I'll stick around at the end for people that want to stay, and I'll show you a couple cool features that you might not be aware of on the platform. All right, so if you're watching this video on YouTube, it will not look good the way YouTube defaults it to. It's going to be hard to see the details that we're doing. Very simple to overcome. See, if you click on the settings thing here, YouTube defaults it at 360p, and that's not going to give you good resolution. So all you have to do is go click on 720p. Take it a little bit longer to load, and then you can either click on this right here, which gives you a larger player, and this is the one we did on Thinkorswim, and you can see, that's pretty clear. Or you can just hit full screen and it'll be crystal clear. If you are watching this on the screencast website, you can see it'll come up in full 720p, and that's very clear. You can see everything, and the only thing is it automatically shows up at 720p. So if you open it up and your browser's like this and you're like, where's the video? All you do is drag it out to where you can see the whole video, and you are good to go. So let's jump in. What we're going to do is just kind of create a brand new, we're going to start from a fresh workspace. So we just clicked on this little bottom, looks like a notepad or something, and it gives a bunch of different layouts. All right, we're just going to do a blank layout, and it doesn't matter which one we pick because we're just going to make it into one chart. So we're going to click on this one, and I just want one chart right now, and we're going to add everything else in. So delete that, and we're going to make this a chart, and we're going to do a blank chart. Okay, now I'm right clicking, and I'm going to chart properties because I don't want all green candlesticks. And I'm going to go to price plot style. And then we've got candlesticks. You can change that to, whatever you want, open, high, low, close, anything you want. And we're going to go to open versus close. That gives our candlesticks the right color. And I have it where it defaults to up bars or hollow, and down bars are solid or filled. You can play around with that however you want. This pulled up a 10-minute chart, and so this yellow line is showing yesterday's close, and this line would show today's open. But if you're looking at daily bars, that's irrelevant, so you can have those unchecked. So I'm going to say OK, uncheck that, and we're going to go up here and we're going to turn this into a daily bar. And if you have, I'm not sure with the gold version, the platinum version, they go back 500 bars. So to see like more history, you would just go to a weekly, and it would give you 500 bars of weekly versus 500 bars of daily. And I'm just going to start typing in, and let me find a symbol that we've been looking at, BONT. So we're going to get that on here. Okay. First, we are going to add in the indicators. And then I'm going to show you how to create the, they call them PCFs, personal criteria formulas, from those without knowing any code. The only code you need to know, and you don't need to know it because we're sending it to you, is this, and this is the formula for the Twigs money flow. So I'm going to copy this, and I can move that off the screen. And we're going to click on this. It looks like a little blue book, indicators. And these are the indicators that come on the platform. And then you've got fundamentals in here, all this stuff, industries, a bunch of cool stuff. If I have time, I'll cover these T2s. These are proprietary to them, and they have some really good stuff for looking at the general market. But we're going to go to formulas and write indicator formula. And in here, I'm going to paste that code. And we're going to name it. I suggest here you name it. I always use CM, that's my initials, and Twigs money flow. And we can test the formula. I know it works, but if you test it, it gives you a little output, so you know it's working. It doesn't give you an error message. And we're going to hit OK. So now, right in here, we've got the CM Twigs money flow. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to ask me where I want to plot it on the chart. We've only got price bar, so we've got one option, plot here. And when it comes up, it doesn't look like you're used to seeing it. And notice it has all this code up here where the name would be. But we're going to click on here and go to Edit. Now, very important. The first thing is, on all the other platforms, the period that we use is a 21 period. The people at TC2000 coded this, and I'm going to play around with it later, but it really doesn't matter. I don't know if there's something in the formula or if it's the way they have to do it, but a 41 period is what matches up with all the other platforms, and I verified that, so it's accurate. So just do a 41 period, and then we need to change this to exponential, very important. Can't have it on simple or it will not match up. 41 exponential. That's all you need to know. Now here we can change the line color. So what I'm going to, if you wanted to keep it as a line, that's fine. I'm going to show you how I set mine up, but you can keep yours as a line, and you can change the color of it right here. And then you can go down here and make it thicker. But since I'm about to change this, I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm going to do a histogram. And then I want to plot the negative color. So we've got red if it's below the zero line, and I'm going to make it green if it's above the zero line, okay? The label so you remember we had all this code up there in the label before. You just go to label, and we're going to type in Twigs money flow. See, and now we have a nice little indicator with Twigs money flow. I'm going to add one more thing to mine, and you don't have to do this, but I'm going to go up, and the way you add another indicator is this plus button. And all these come up, but you can just start typing in what you want, and it'll go to it. So I want a simple moving average, so I'm going to type in MOVING, moving average, simple. And it's going to ask us where we want to plot that, on the price bars, which is just the name of the symbol, or the Twigs money flow. Okay, so now we have a 50 moving average. So I'm going to go and I'm going to click Edit, and I'm going to change this to white, and I want a 1 period moving average, and I'm going to make the line thicker. And this is, if you just had this set up as a line, this is exactly what the line would look like. And so I like the feature with the histogram and the line, because the line makes the divergences a lot easier to see, in my opinion, and that's just the way I like it to look. You can set it up however you want to. I'm not going to change the label there. I don't care if it says moving average 1, and I'm going to click OK. Now, remember when we save the indicator, and we go under indicators and remember formulas, and I named it CM, my initials, and I highly recommend that you just pick one thing and go with it, so that they're all, because they're going to show up in alphabetical order, and all yours will be there, okay? So if we clicked on this, remember, it came up with, it looked weird and it had all that stuff at the top. So what we're going to do now is go click on this and say save this indicator, and you want to do that after you get it the way you want it to look. And I forgot one thing. We're going to click on the Twigs money flow, and you see, if you ever want to put horizontal lines on an indicator, you click right here and add line, and I want a 0 line, and I want it white and a little bit thicker so you can see it, and that's the way I like it to look. Put whatever color, or you can leave it off. And now I have it like I want to, so I'm going to click on Twigs Money Flow, save this indicator. I want the moving average to be included in the indicator, and I'm going to name this, I name all of them Acorn, since that's what we're using for these setups, and they'll show up in alphabetical order, all, with Acorn all together. And so I'm going to click OK. Now what we need to do is add a few more indicators. So we're going to click right here, and we need a Bollinger Band. So we're just doing the Bollinger Bands with this little R right there. And we're going to put this on the price chart. And I'm going to go in and edit the Bollinger Band. The default settings should be exactly this. We want 20 and 2.0. I'm going to change the color. I just like mine in cyan, and make it a little bit thicker. And if you want to plot the center line, you would do that right there. Unfortunately, they don't give the capability of changing how that looks, making it a thinner line or like a dashed line. But all this is a based on the simple moving average. So you could uncheck that and just add in a 20 period simple moving average, and then you could kind of customize it the way you wanted it to look. That's another option, but just to move fast, I'm going to do this. So now we've got Bollinger Bands, okay? We need an RSI. So I'm going to go up here and type in RSI, and we want the Wilder's RSI. So I'm going to click on that. Now, we don't need this moving average, so I'm going to click on it and say remove, and I'm going to click on the Wilder's and say edit. We need an 8 period moving average, and make it whatever color you want. I'm going to do this, and now we're good. We've already got the horizontal lines at 30 and 70, so I'm going to click OK, and well, I'm going to wait till I get everything set up the way I want. And if you wanted to change the thickness, the color of the lines, all you do is go in, click on here, and remember, we went to horizontal lines, and see those horizontal lines show up, the 70 and the 30. So we might want the 30 as green, whatever color you want, a little bit thicker, top one a little bit thicker. And all the indicators have this nice little opacity thing. So for a lot of gradients on some indicators, you can make it, I'm going to get mine to stand out. I'm going to click OK. And since we put the Wilder's RSI on there, and it defaulted to 14, and it looked different. If once you get it the way you want to, we're going to go in and we are going to save this indicator. And I'm just going to click on the beginning and type Acorn and Wilder's RSI 8 and hit OK. And we need one more indicator. We need the volume. So I'm going to type in VOL. And we want the volume indicator. So I'm going to go up and click here to the 50 moving average and hit edit. And the 50 moving average is what we're going to base the volume average off of when we say the volume average is greater than 300,000. So you can leave that as a 50, you can move it to a 10, you can make it longer, whatever you like. I'm going to leave it as a 50. The color, I'm going to change the color to something that stands out, a little yellow, and make that thicker. And that's good enough for now. And hit OK. And I'm going to go and save this indicator, but save this indicator so we have it like we want it, and save this as we're going to keep this moving average. And we've got Acorn volume, and I'm going to put 50 MA, so I know it's based on a 50 moving average in case I ever wanted to use a different one, and hit OK. And we have everything saved now. Now what I want to do is reorder these the way I like it. The way you do that is you click on these little arrows right here, and it'll say, where do you want to put it? I like my volume on top, and I like the Twigs money flow on bottom. So I'm going to click insert here. And now we've got the volume, the RSI, Twigs money flow, and then we can drag these down a little bit. And now we can see much more of the price, and you can adjust these the way you want to. But now we're going to set up the scans. Now we've got a little bit of work to do. But you do it once and it'll be easy to use from then on out if you do it the right way. So the first thing we need to do is, the first criteria is going to be price is greater than 2. And the way you do that is click on the symbol here, and you go to create scan condition, and it says price history greater than, so we're going to put 2. And we're going to say save condition to library. And I'm going to go ahead and type the name in here, Acorn price greater 2. And I'm going to hit save condition to library, and then it just populates what you wrote in here, right here. If not, you could just click save condition to library and type it in. And I'm going to hit save. And we're good there. Okay, so now we need to create the Bollinger Band criteria. So we're going to go up here, and we are going to go to create scan condition. And if you scroll down, at the top you have just kind of the Bollinger Band, different kind of settings based on the Bollinger Band. But if you scroll down on any of the indicators, then you'll have price history versus Bollinger Bands, or whatever indicator we're looking at. So we want a close above the channel top. So above channel top, and it's saying price history is above channel top. We're going to click on that, and I'm going to say Acorn close above Bollinger, and you can name it whatever you want. And we're going to save condition to library, price above the second band. That's right, save. And we're just going to leave it here and go down and do the opposite one. And we want below channel bottom. So now we've got Acorn close above. So now we need to do Acorn close below. And save condition to library, and we are good to go. So we're done with that. A few more to go, and we will be ready to do the scans. So we need to do the volume, and we're going to click on the moving average and create scan condition. And the 50 period average of volume is greater than 300,000. 300,000, yep, got it right. So do Acorn vol average, and I'm going to do 50 MA is greater than 300,000, and save condition to library. So we've got price, Bollinger Bands, volume, save that, and we are good to go there. Now RSI, be real simple. We're going to go in here and create a scan condition, and we want greater than 70 for one of the scans. And so now we've got Acorn RSI greater than 70. And click save condition to library. Click save. And now we want less than. And what number do we use for less than? 30. And so we just need to change this. Acorn RSI less than 30. Save condition to library, save, and we are good. Now all we have to do is a Twigs money flow, and so we're going to click on this and create scan condition greater than 0, and so I'm going to say Acorn Twigs money flow greater than 0. Save condition to library, save it, and now we want less than 0. So all we have to do is Twigs money flow is less than 0. Save condition to library, save. Now we have everything saved that we need to pull up to run a scan. And so all we have to do is we're going to go up to create an easy scan. And we're going to create a new scan. And we need to add some conditions. So the first thing we're going to do is what I did is, see it has S&P 500. I'm going to click on that and go to US stocks. And we are going to add a condition. So we're going to do all US stocks, and we need to do the price. So we're just going to go down to Acorn because we did all these already. So price is greater than 2. So we've got that condition in there. Then what I want it to do is, one thing we didn't do, which we don't need to, is I'm going to do optionable stocks. So if you start typing in optionable, this will come up and it'll say that is true. The reason I do that is there's no setting in here for shorting stocks, stocks that are shortable. But optionable stocks, I mean, we trade a lot of options, and almost all, if not all, optionable stocks are shortable. So that's a good criteria that you can use in there. All right, the next one is the Acorn volume average is greater than 300,000. So we need to add another condition, and we've got to decide now which one we're doing. So let's do the Twigs Bollinger Long. So we would need the Bollinger Band, the Acorn close below the Bollinger Band for the long, right? We would want the RSI less than 30, and we would want the Twigs money flow greater than 0. So I'm going to click save, and we're going to type in Acorn Twigs Bollinger Long, and click save. You can name that whatever you want to, and I'm going to click scan. And we brought up 14 items. So now, this is important, we're going to click on, see this where it's got like arrows going up and down, and it's kind of like a cross. We're going to hover over that and press that, and it's going to ask us where do we want to place it. So right now we want to place it, you can place it on the right side of the chart if you prefer your watch list over there, but I'm going to say on the left, okay? And we just drag this over, and let's make sure this criteria is kind of working. So I'm going to click on this, and we've got close below the Bollinger, volume average. Let's see what the volume average, the volume average is 600,000. RSI is below 30, Twigs money flow is positive. All right, so that scan worked, okay? So now what we're going to do is just create one more scan, and we just need to go up to create easy scan and add condition, Acorn, price is greater than 2. Add condition, and we're going to do optional stocks is true, and we need to change this to all US stocks. Add condition, volume average is in there. Now we're going to do the Bollinger. So now we're doing the Twigs Bollinger short, and so we need that to close above the Bollinger. We need the RSI greater than 70, and we need the Twigs money flow less than 0. That's accurate, right? Let me check. Yeah, Twix money flow less than 0. Okay. So we're going to save this. And we've got Acorn, Twigs, Bollinger Long. And I'm going to say Acorn, Twigs, Bollinger Short. And click Save. And scan. And watch how fast this works. I mean, we're like 5,800 stocks we're scanning with all this criteria. And this is just how fast it works. Boom. 9 items in the watch list. So what we can do is we can place this, side by side up here, down here on the other side of the page. So what I'm going to do is click on here and see this arrow. I'm going to place it to where it is below the, so we've got the long setup up here, short setup here, and you can place those wherever you want. And just to show you an example, actually, if you wanted to tab them, you can have as many as you want going across. So we would just click on this arrow, this cross again, and move it, and see where it says tab here too. We're going to press that, and see now they're tabbed. So you can go back and forth between them. So you can do as many of those as you want. And I'm going to hit it one more time, and we are going to put it below. So let's make sure this criteria works. Click on that. We've got to close above the Bollinger. We've got a volume average 340,000. RSI is barely above here at 70.25, and the Twigs money flow is below. So our criteria is working, okay? So it's as simple as that. So now we're done with the scans. Now you can keep these in here and they will update. I know they do on the Platinum version in real time. If not, you just press this, but if you're looking at it at the end of the day, they should automatically update. And that's all you have to do. Now, I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of different ways you can look at criteria. So if you're an experienced user, you're familiar with all this, you just needed to get these scans set up, then you can take off, and I'm going to cover just a few more features, okay? Okay, I'm going to give you an example of a couple different ways you can add stuff to the scans. So again, if you guys are experienced users and you're familiar with all the, the functionality in here, you're welcome to take off. We've got the scans set up, and you can, how to add to them whatever you want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to edit. And one of the things that I like to add is a beta. So I'm going to click on condition, and beta's right there, but just if it wasn't, you just type in BET, and we've got beta. And I'm going to say is greater than 1.3. One feature I want to show you real quick is this ranks. Cool little feature they have. So what you can do if we were looking at beta, or another thing that you can add in to some of the scans is institutional ownership, insiders buying, and you can rank those as we can say, okay, we just want the top 50% that are, and that's against all U.S. stocks. And you'll just get results of the top 50% of all U.S. stocks. But just to make this simple, I'm going to say is greater than 1.3. And what that means is it's going to be looking at all the U.S. stocks, and this stock moves 30% more than all the other U.S. stocks, on average. So that means it's more volatile, which means it moves more, which gives us a better chance to make money. So I'm going to click on scan, and none met that criteria. So I'm going to go back to edit, and I'm going to take that off and hit scan again. And we've got our items, right? So another way to do that is, and that's rare that it doesn't work. Let me try it up here real quick. So I'm just going to edit, add condition, BET, because I use this all the time, is greater than 1.3, or 1.30. Okay. And scan. And so that took that list. I forgot what it was before, but you could see it took it down a little bit, okay? So what I'm going to do quick and show you a different way to do things like that, if you want to keep like just the simple scan and then put other criteria up there just to see how it compares. So I'm going to take this off and hit scan. And so I think we were at 8 before, 14, so I think it took like 6 away. But what we can do here is click on this little add column and type in beta. and click that, and we'll slide this over. And yeah, and so now we can sort by beta. So now you have your whole list that you had from the basic scan, but you can put other criteria up here and sort it by that. And so now we know this is one of the most volatile stocks in here. So we can take a look at that, and you can see it moves pretty well. It's because it's a low price stock, but that's fine. Click on the next one. And so, we're getting ranges between, $12, $10. We're getting moves between 9 and, 11.50, 12. So good moves in there. And on that note, I'll just show you this real quick. They have a new feature in 12.4. If you click and hold, notice on the left so this box that pops up right here, at the bottom, you'll see where it says the stock symbol, STNG, and it says 1010 to 11.6. That means I've drawn this line from 1010 to 11.6, which is 27 days and 19 bars. So 27 days including the weekends, 19 bars, so 19 day market days, and that's a 3.16 $3.16 move. You can see on the left. To the right of that, it's a 33% gain. Annualized, that would be 50% gain. So you can see just catching a few of these moves in the stocks that have high betas that follow the other criteria can create some great returns. Now you throw options on that, and it can kind of get pretty incredible. So that's one way of doing it right there. And then one other way you can kind of set up these scans, and I'll just show you this example. We created the RSI scan, in this scan over here. But if you ever wanted to, throw another indicator on the chart and kind of and see how you, well, I'll just jump in and show you how to do this. So if you go to Walter's RSI, and we want to create a scan condition, and this is the Bollinger Short, so we would want this greater than 70 to meet the criteria, right? And then we save the scan condition before. Now we want to add it to an existing watch list or scan. So I'm going to click on that, and we can add it to any of them we want, but I'm going to add it to this one right here, and I'm going to click on add column to the right and sort. So click on that, and it has a check mark, which means it's true, right? Which of course it is, because that's already in the regular part of the scan. But if it wasn't in the regular part of the scan, and again, if you threw another indicator on here, you would get a check mark by where it met where the condition was true, and these would just be blank if it wasn't true. So if we just went in here to say RSI, create scan condition, and we that was greater than 70. So let's just do the opposite, less than 30, which is a criteria up here, but we're going to add to an existing watch list or scan, and we're going to put it over here. And you can see all the ones that are greater than 70 are true, and these are false. So you can kind of play around with that if you want to run, just basic scans and, have everything showing. Because these, see, we could have done all this criteria. We could have put, all the U.S. stocks in here, right? And we could have created all this criteria, in a row, just one after the other. And the ones that had check marks would, match up to our criteria. But you would have to, look and scroll. It would keep all, 5,800 stocks instead of narrowing them down to, 8, right? So a couple different ways to do it, but just wanted to throw that out to you. And then the way you get rid of these is just right click on them and delete, right click, delete. So real simple, okay? One other thing that I'll show you if you guys want to hang around for a second, that's a pretty cool feature on here, is we're going to go up here and create a new watch list. And I'm 99% sure this is right, the industry components, okay? And I'm going to click right here to move window, and I'm going to put this on the right side of the page. So I'm going to slide this over, and this is useful. And you can take out any of these columns if you just wanted to see. What I want to see is what sector these stocks are in. And now when we click on a stock, it tells us the sector that it's in, okay? So we're in shipping and ports. If we go down here, REIT diversified, it's real estate. ROYT. That's an oil and gas. But I like that because, we get a lot of stocks that I've never heard of before, and I can just click on one and say, okay, that's in real estate services, right? But if you guys have any interest, when they released this 12.4 version, they came out with a lot of extra features, and they actually came in and did a 2-day seminar right where I live with their head trainer. And I learned a ton of stuff about the platform and just kind of a lot of cool features that they have that you can go to and do some really long-term analysis with some proprietary things they built in. So if you guys are interested in that, just email the guy, email Kyle or Johnny over at Acorn Wealth and let them know you're interested. And if there's interest, I'll be happy to do a video just on some of the advanced features. But I sincerely appreciate your guys' time. And if you guys have any questions, just let us know.